That's me, Curtis Hines. I would love to tell y'all that I've been the best husband and best father in the world. Nah, not at all. I failed many times for many years, but I wanted to do better, not only for myself, but for my wife and kids, and the people that love me. I want to share with you all on how I became a better man, a better husband, and a better father. How y'all doing? Welcome to Commit to Your Commitments. I am Curtis Hines. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, if you've been with me through this series, I appreciate you. And if this is your first time, hey, we are on episode 37. Catch up. What you doing? Like, go back and watch the other ones. But for now, this is episode 37. And I want to talk about a reminder. Like, let's remember something. This is dedicated to my husbands out there. Hey, if you're not married, hey, this may help. You know, if you're thinking about taking that next step in your relationship with your significant other, hey, this you may want to listen to this. But to my fellas out there, remember why you said I do. Just think about it. Remember why you said I do. Please always remember that. You have to remember that because things are going to change. Like for the newlyweds, hey, for someone, like I said, that's thinking about jumping the broom and taking that next step to get married. And hey, if you've been married, you understand this. You have to remember why you said I do, because as things change, with the kids coming, like if you didn't have kids at first and then you do have kids, things do change. From health situations, whether it be from weight gain, weight loss, to the, maybe other, health, related situations or issues or whatever that you or your mate, may be facing and everything, but you still have to remember why you said I do. You still want to adjust, like, it gets easier. You're gonna run across some let me start over. I was flowing, boy. I was giving it to y'all. Hi, welcome to Commit to Your Commitments. I am Curtis Hines. Thank you for tuning in. This is episode 37. Hey, if you've been with me, thank you. Like, man, it's been like a nice journey, man. I've been enjoying this. And if this is your first time, it's okay. You can go back and watch the rest of the series. But I want to keep things moving forward. I want to talk about remembering why you said I do. This is for my married guys out there, newlyweds. If you thinking about getting married, this is something, hey, I think you need to hear, as well as it may just be confirmation for yourself. And like I said, my aim is just to maybe alter your, outlook on certain situations and topics and everything, as a father, as a husband, as a man. And this one right here has helped me in my marriage. I've been married over 14 years now, and it was something that I had to tell myself and remember when things, were getting a little rocky, things were getting, a little off and everything, because you deal with so many changes throughout the years, because you're growing as a person, she's growing as a person, even your family is growing. So there's so many changes with those things alone. If you was a newlywed and, everything was cool when it was just you two, and then the child came along and things, had to change. A lot of things had to change, but, you work through that, and then another child comes, and then maybe a pet. And then, so there's so many things, that changes when you get married, and, in certain situations and everything, you feel defeated. Like, I can admit, like, there was certain times that I felt defeated as a husband, and I felt like, man, what am I doing? Like, man, even not, I I've never reached a point where I questioned whether I wanted to stay with my wife, like to stay married or anything. But there was just a lot of doubts I had within myself, and everything that I had to really, push myself to be like, okay, well, the reason I married her, the reason I said I do is because she keeps me balanced. Like, she motivates me. She inspires me, like when I was down and didn't believe in myself, like I was saying, she would, encourage me. She would love on me. She would tell me like, hey man, you got this. Like, hey, I love you. Like, I can see your potential. Like, man, you are that guy. Like, you can make this happen. So I had to remember why I said I do. I had to remember why I said I do, because I married her because that was one of her awesome qualities, was that she saw things within me that I couldn't even see, like that I didn't even believe at the time. So when I had doubts within myself, I had to remember, man, like, I love her because of this. I love her because of that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean when I say you really have to remember why you said I do. Now, if you said I do because of sex, hey, that's changed. Like, if you've been married for a while, that's changed. I'm not saying it changed like a bad thing, and I can't speak for everybody else. But that shouldn't be your only reason. Like, if that's your only reason, then when the kids get involved, it ain't gonna be none of that just random out the blue. Like, y'all gonna have to, coordinate. It ain't gonna be that spontaneous, but hey, if you working it out that way, look, man, it's an adventure, when the kids come around. But that shouldn't be just the only reason why you said I do. There has to be other reasons and qualities and things that you loved about her at that time when you said I do at that altar, that you should remember when things change, when things get tough, when you have doubts and everything about yourself, or even doubts about her. Like, you should remember those things, and that should trigger open dialogue between y'all to be able to talk about those things. That has helped my marriage, man. Like, it's just, man, like it has definitely helped us in some rough times and some rough patches we've had. Our marriage has not been perfect, but because, I remember why I said I do, and I know she had to as well. Like, I can tell the chemistry and the flow of things in my marriage, that once we start talking about things and opening up more and just expressing ourselves more about things and how they were changing, and just expectations and, understanding, compromising, like, even sympathy and compassion and all those things, because again, she's changing, growing, understanding, like trying to adjust and adapt to, all these different things as a wife, as a mother. I'm adjusting and adapting, trying to keep everything, focused and everything, as a man, as a husband and everything. So, hey, we have to be able to remember where we started. We here now, but let's remember why we started it in the first place. Why did we do this? Why did we say, okay, let's go get married? Like, what was about you that made me want to do this? What made me want to tell you, like, hey, I'm going to spend the rest of my life with you? What was so amazing about her that you did that you was like, man, this she the one, like, man, she the GOAT. Like, I love this one. I want her forever. Like, remembering those things triggers other things that makes you feel good about that decision, that makes you feel good about opening up to her and wanting to have those conversations about how you feel about yourself, how you feel about the marriage, how you feel about the family. Like, as men, we need to communicate that more, like, for real. Like, we definitely need to open up more, because that helps her to be able to love on you more, to be able to know how she needs to adjust to make sure that she's satisfying you, that she's doing her part, that as your wife, as your friend, as your lover, like, hey, so that definitely helps, man. That has helped me in so many ways. Just remembering, like, man, oh man, like, because it a lot of the stuff has not left. Like, you know, at times we feel like, hey, yeah, man, I want to know if you still got it. Like, she knows you still, like, you know, she still got it. It's not, you may not have seen certain things in a while and you having these doubts like, man, she don't do this anymore, or we don't do this anymore and everything. All it takes is you to open your mouth. Because now, like I said, you're going back to remembering, like, man, we don't do this anymore, because you remember why you said I do. You said I do because you thinking back on those things that y'all used to do, and whether it be fun or this or that, you're like, man, we don't do this, we don't do this. Open your mouth, say something, because you remember why you said I do. That's you remembering it. You're thinking, like, man, like, yeah. So remember why you said I do. And if things have gotten so far away, if she's just this total complete person, then the person you married, say something, talk about it, not like beat her down verbally, not accuse, like, oh, you don't like, oh no, don't approach it that way. She ain't never gonna change. She's never gonna adjust. If you attack her, you know what I'm saying, verbally attack her and point all these things out she don't do, oh no. Hey, she might say, hey, we can cut this out now then, if that's the way you, like, for real. We don't want to do that, fellas. Do not attack your woman. Do not attack your wife like that. Have that open discussion and see how you can influence that. See how you can help get things back to that. If things are so out of place, has changed so much that it's almost unbearable. Hey, let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. Like, let's see how we can, you know, get back to what we used to be, you know, and making sure you're doing your part. Don't be asking her, hey, I noticed we don't do this or this. Like, I remember, you know, when we first got married, we was doing this and this. And be realistic. Be realistic. Remembering why you said I do and the things y'all were doing. Be realistic to say, are y'all truly able and capable of doing those things? Because like I said, there's so many variables. There's so many, you know, changes that may have happened since then, that you need to be realistic as a husband, as a guy, to know, can we really truly do those things we used to do? And how much is that really going to benefit your marriage? You know, or maybe there's something else that you can do in place of that, you know? So let's think about that. So it has helped me, man, through the years. Just remembering why I said I do at that altar, man. And just knowing, like, she balanced me out, man. And, you know, I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world. I wouldn't trade her for nothing in the world, man. And like I said, with adjusting, we both have to do individually to be able to have that, you know, honest communication with each other, man, to have that feedback from one another, to see how we can work through certain things, to help us to always date each other, to always do those things that took us to that altar. You know, our sex life, financially, even adjusting with the kids, with our 9 to 5s, with her goals and dreams, my goals, and like all of those things. It helps with communicating it with each other, and it just makes things so much easier as you continue to grow and learning each other and understanding each other. And we are doing things that where we both, like, neither one of us are forgetting that, or, you know, we have those conversations where we tell each other, hey, I man, that's one of the reasons why I love you. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to be with you. Like, I actually tell her that, and she tells me that, just as that reminder on why we both said I do, is that, hey man, that was one of the unique things about you that set you aside from everybody else, because you did this and because you did that and because you were there and you were supportive. Nobody else was. And that's why, like, I remember why I said I do about you, about her, and vice versa. I hope that helps. I hope that makes sense. Remembering why you said I do, that's how it helps me in my marriage to this day. Those are things that, like I said, me and my wife do. 14 years strong and going, and like I said, it has not been a perfect marriage, but hey man, we enjoying it. We in a much better place, mentally, spiritually, all the above, and we doing it together. And like I said, communication, being open, being verbal, about how you feel and just expectations and what you desire and what you look forward to really truly helps to get things on that same, mutual, just, understand. Like it just, it's less stress when you talk about it, fellas. Excuse me. When we open up, when we talk about it, man, it helps them. It helps her. It truly helps, because now she knows she's not going to use that against you, because you got to make sure you're not using the stuff she tells you against her. That's how that works. You get what you receive. You get what you out. Remember, I really truly enjoy this, man. I just love to just give y'all my experience and share these things with y'all. My aim is just to help encourage y'all all to, hey man, if I can do these things, you can definitely do it. Like I said, man, I've been through it all with 5 kids, wife, man, working a 9 to 5. Like I'm doing it. I've lived it. I continue to live it. I continue to do it. So here I'm here to help. Man, if you want to know more about me, I'm on all social media platforms at D Curtis J Hines. And man, all I do is just post motivating things, encouraging things for my fellas. I'm an author, writer, motivational speaker. Like I do all that, man. I have 3 books right now that's available pretty much everywhere. This is for men. It's kind of hitting on a lot of the things that I talk about in this series. And if it's not already out yet, please check out my other book talking about sex credit. Very interesting, and it's going to help in that bedroom, fellas. So check that out. If it's not already out, it'll be coming soon. Again, this is committing to your commitments, fellas. I am Curtis Hines. Come back, because I'll be back. And I want to talk about how we are always under attack as guys. And it's something we have to be aware of and something we can control. So come back so we can talk about that. Thank you.